I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the school board meeting this Tuesday, November 17th, 2015. If you wish to speak during the hearing of citizens, please pick up a card in the back of the chambers and print your name and topic clearly and return the card to our board assistant, Zoe Marshall. At the appropriate time, we'll call you up to speak. You will be allotted 3 minutes, and note the respect for divergent viewpoints and civility will be shown at every meeting. And today we'll have a flag salute from the Booker High Color Guard under the direction of Colonel Morris Ben Weiss. And we have a guest with us today that's going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, Miss Maddie May Parada, a kindergartner at Felipe Shores.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forward, march. Good afternoon. This afternoon we have a new student representative, Bailey Levesky from Booker High School. Welcome, Becky. Could you tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Bailey Levesky, and I am a junior at Booker High School. I'm in the ACE Cambridge program, and I'm also in the music department. I sing and play piano.
Great. Thank you. And any special presentations? I see none. And we will go to the superintendent's report.
None today.
Hearing of citizens. I have 3 cards here. We'll ask you to come up here, make sure the little red light is on by the mic, and Zoe will put a timer on. Green, you go. Yellow, your time is running out, and red, your time is out, and we ask you to stop. The first speaker will be Abby Weingarten.
It's not on? Okay. Good afternoon, school board members, and thank you for your time. My name is Abby Weingarten. I'm a graduate of New College, a journalist, a wife, and a mother of a 6-year-old daughter who's in 1st grade at Bay Haven School. I've been a homeowner in Bayou Oaks since 2005, and I live on Myrtle Street. I come to you today as a concerned mother. As you may know, our community is in turmoil right now as we face the possibility of having a 24-hour homeless shelter located on Myrtle Street in North Sarasota, in the most family-centered part of our area, between Booker Middle and Booker High Schools. I spoke at the County Commission meeting today on this topic, It is a public safety issue to place a facility like this on the main pedestrian route between two schools and across from a community center where students play after school. Nearly every day, I take my daughter to the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex to ride her tricycle on the trail, play on the playground, or swim in the pool. We attend plays at Booker Middle and high schools, and she aspires to join those amazing performing arts programs. Myrtle Street carries with it a wonderful child-friendly feeling for my family. These places are huge parts of our lives and our memories, and we're so grateful for them. So I ask you, school board members, to think about the safety of our Sarasota County students and consider taking action by working with the county commissioners. I shudder to think about Myrtle Street becoming a magnet for people with potential mental and drug abuse problems at all hours of the day and night, mixing with young students. I can only imagine the incidents, the picketing, and the headlines. The backlash from the schools and the parents has already begun. I believe we need a solution to homelessness in Sarasota County and that we need to move forward, but this is a huge backward leap. Sarasota County has the opportunity to be a leader in homeless solutions and to carve out a positive reputation for its efforts. At the end of the day, this is about people, families, and building a better community. Whether rich, poor, or homeless, we all deserve to be taken care of in the best possible way at the right time and in the proper place. So I ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Weingarten. Now, as you know, we don't have a vote in that, but hopefully they've heard what you had to say. Next, we have Lee Merman.
Button two. It's off. Now it's on. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Lee Merman. I grew up in Sarasota, and I am a product of the Sarasota County school system. During my youth, my teachers, like Patricia Johnston, through 3 different classes, motivated me to take a world view. She and others challenged my perception of how I saw things. Back then, Sarasota was a bit more provincial. There were no smartphones or internet, and connectivity to the rest of the world was a bit slower, and yes, less connected. Since then, Sarasota has grown up. It retains its historic friendliness, and yet it is also more cosmopolitan, diverse, and global. As such, our community holds itself to a higher standard than it should. We are attracting people from all over this country and around the globe. And this is a good thing, and this is not a good thing. It is a great thing. Our school system, its students, its parents, its teachers, volunteers, and staff members of our community called Sarasota. Today's students should be entitled to the very best that we are very capable of. When I was invited to Congress by U.S. Representative Vern Buchanan as a hero of small business, I spoke of my wife's and my goal of hoisting our children up on our shoulders so that they would have a higher perspective to see and experience the world from an even better vantage point than we did. Learning occurs as much outside of the classroom as it does inside of one. As parents and educators in Sarasota, we must use best practices to help each child become a global citizen. This means respecting the data and the studies that tell us that top-performing school districts and states start within 2 weeks of Labor Day each year. As a community, we should not be satisfied by having one of the top school districts in the state, but should aspire to be one of the best in the country. To do this, we need to think globally and to keep our school start date the same. Every day, our community is attracting visitors and new residents that expect excellence. This includes calendars that are consistent with their communities and gives our children the opportunity to be out of school simultaneous to their peers, not only throughout North America, but frankly, the rest of the world. August is the one month during the year that the world is on vacation, and we need to embrace this connectivity, this interdependence, and this learning opportunity. School board members, I request that the start date for public schools in Sarasota begins no earlier than 2 weeks before Labor Day. And if I had my preference, I would want Sarasota to take the lead and to make the start date only 1 week before that Labor Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jennifer Mason.
again. Thanks for having me. I just wanted to follow up when I came last time and spoke my mind on the same issue, the start date. Since then, I come not alone, but I come with 566 signatures that we've gotten on our online petition, and I have a copy of that for you to see. When speaking to people, what I noticed is that, first of all, about 25% of them didn't even know this change was occurring. And that is a question and a concern, and it's a concern to them. When we have a system that can call our home and alert us to anything going on, why are we not alerted when you're changing the whole makeup of our summer and our lives and our children's lives? That to me is unacceptable, and it was to them too. Everyone I spoke to, and I mean everyone, the first question they said was, why are we doing this? And that's where I can't come up with a good answer other than the fact that we want to finish before Christmas. And as I stated, and I won't reiterate, the test scores do not support this. The other states that are beating us in our math and reading scores don't support this. They all start later than we do. So why are we going in the opposite direction? I can't answer that question for them when they ask me that. I can't. And I don't know if anyone can. 8 years ago, the Florida families finally got tired of their school system starting earlier and earlier in pursuit of higher test scores at the expense of the family summertime together. The backlash was large and swift, and the state legislature quickly mandated that school could not begin more than 2 weeks before Labor Day. The state has unbelievably rescinded that mandate. In a 2013 poll by Save Our Summers, 83% of the people polled in our region supported a current or later school start date. I am also supporting no earlier than 1 week before Labor Day. I also believe that the committee who looked at this and made their decision was not representative of the public. I found that 11 out of the 12 people are employed by the school system in some capacity. I asked that these 566 people I brought with me, I tell you that they're not only opposed to the 16-year calendar change, they're also opposed to the proposed 2017 calendar change. They're opposed to any calendar change unless it's later. So I will ask you, that is my hope that the elected members of the board will choose to represent us and change the calendar back and to save our summers. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last card I have is for Lisa Rollins.
Good afternoon, school board members. My name is Lisa Rollins, and I'm the owner of a successful court reporting agency that serves the legal community throughout Sarasota, Charlotte, and Lee counties. Our family lives in Siesta Key. My 15-year-old son is currently a freshman at Suncoast Polytechnical High School. We are involved in our local community. I vote. My son and I currently serve as active volunteers for Mote Marine Research Laboratory and Aquarium on a weekly basis. Summer is the time when young people experience life firsthand. Whether they go to camp, get a job, go on a trip, or even stay home, they have the opportunity to do things that they cannot do sitting at a desk in a classroom. They've completed worksheets and learned new skills all year, and now they get to apply their knowledge in the real world. Summer vacation provides invaluable lessons and experiences students can't get in a typical school environment. Our family is currently scheduled to attend our annual Marine Science Expedition in the Florida Keys during the week of August 15th. 2016. During this time, our children will be learning about marine life, oceanography, weather, meteorology, environmental conservation, and more. This real-world, hands-on classroom provides a unique opportunity for immersion learning, which is the best kind. Our family objects to shortening summertime vacations for Sarasota County students. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Was this another speaker? Okay. Is that Lael Hazen?
Hello, my name is Lael Hazan, and I'm fortunate to have two kids in the Sarasota County School District. One is at Sarasota Middle School PGA, and the other is at Pineview. And I come to support and reiterate what the first two speakers have eloquently said. And I am also here because my junior is about to embark and is embarking on looking at summer programs. And she has incredible opportunities, which because of this date, she will not have. She cannot go to Stanford this coming summer because this program doesn't allow for elite programs. She will not get a free ride to go to Israel, to the Technion, the MIT of Israel, because their program finishes on the 18th of August. So you are hindering, by this date, our elite students for being all that they can be. It's hurting our kids. It will hurt her for going into all these incredible, when she goes to college, she is competing against nationally kids who have had these opportunities. And she will now be hindered, and she's going to stay home and take hope, which is really exciting. And my younger one, it has impacts for our summer. It has impacts for summer camps, for most of the northern summer camps, which we'd attend, and later. So she will not be in sessions with her friends. She's going to have to change her sessions. It impacts our family travel, and it impacts our business, our tourism. We bring in tourism dollars to Sarasota County, and changing this date, I'm sure you've seen all of the data. Unfortunately, I had to be late because I work, and I'm taking off time so that I'm able to be here because I feel so strongly about this. I really beg you to look at your data. And when there is a Orlando Sentinel piece in the Orlando Sentinel which asked the head of Florida's tourism and restaurant industry what they felt about change dates, because many counties are thinking of it. And they said it really impacts our bottom line. So in my case, it hurts my children. And according to the Tourism and Restaurant Bureau, it hurts our economy. So we're doing it for tests, which if you look at your long-term data on testing, California, Orange County has stated they had to turn it back. They had tried this, they moved this. Orange County is the highest ranking testing county in California, and they've moved back to the original. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will be voting on the proposed calendars on January 4th. I don't think any of us want to start a debate at this time, but we urge parents to send their comments to our calendar committee. It's comments calendar at SarasotaCountySchools.net. Calendar comments at SarasotaCountySchools.net. And they will assemble them all, and we will have a discussion on that on January 4th. Thank you for coming and sharing.
And the deadline on that, Mrs. Brown, is November 20th. So get those in, please.
All right.
Ask Lori a question.
Ms.
Ms. White, is it possible through our Connect Ed to actually poll our parents?
I believe there is a way. It's not something that we use frequently, but I believe there is a mechanism that we can use Connect Ed for that purpose.
Well, I would suggest to the rest of the board that I think that might be a good use of our Connect Ed. It's clear that a whole lot of, at least in my opinion, that a whole lot of parents and students, and that's who we're talking about, is parents and students aren't aware of this change. So, I don't see any real harm in asking our parents.
I agree. Okay, I will pursue that. Thank you.
I'm sorry, we have one late card. I think we'll go ahead and let her speak. You can ask questions of individual board members or send emails to us, or wait till after the meeting, we'll talk. Yes, I think they did want that. But I don't think your emails are going to go to a dead file. Maybe somebody will read them. The school board will still. Okay, we have Lori Birchbach.
Bernbach.
Bernbach.
So I'm Lori Bernbach. I am, in real life, National Account Director with Coca-Cola. I also own a stable. And I have one daughter that goes to Sarasota Middle School. And I just want to say that I feel so strongly about this, you can't imagine. And I also feel so strongly that regardless of whether you use the survey frequently or infrequently, you should definitely use it now, because I don't think most parents are aware of this. I think that you are taking away a large percentage of our kids' summer, but more importantly, you're taking away a month where a lot of the kids, I know my kid is pretty serious in our sport. Most of the national finals, and I'm sure it's the same in Little League and a lot of the other summer sports, are held in August because no other schools in the entire country start August 2nd.
Oh.
That I'm aware of. And so you're gonna basically cause a lot of parents, and I've spoken to a lot of parents, to either make the choice of not having their kid come to school for the first 2 weeks, or else pulling them out and going somewhere else. And that's not an option I want, because my daughter loves her school. We love the school district. We love Sarasota School District. I think the fact that this is being done essentially in a vacuum without hearing from the parents is a big mistake. So again, I would strongly recommend that you use the survey, use the tools that you have, and let's see. I mean, if most of the other parents are okay with starting that early, then I'm gonna have to make my own choice. But I'm pretty confident that most of the parents are not aware of this, and if they were, they would be more outspoken about it. I appreciate the fact that you're at least listening to us. I also know that a lot of us have sent emails to the calendar thing. We get no response, so we don't know if they're going anywhere. We don't know if they're being read or heard. I know I just finished an interview with ABC7. I told them, I'm not sure if anybody's here from the paper or from the news channel, but I'm trying to get them to come cover this and do something, because I think the big thing is nobody knows about it.
Right, thank you. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You still had time.
Okay. Anyway, again, I thank you for your time, but please consider, and the fact, if this is being done truly because then they can test before the spring or before the Christmas break, it leads back to caring more about testing than about what the kids really learn and what they enjoy in their lives. And I know my life is crazy. I want my kid to have her summers as long as she possibly can, because once you get to real life, you don't get that. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Perhaps, Superintendent, you can clarify. We used to start actually 2 weeks earlier, and that was changed. How many years ago did we change?
It
was
was
about 6?
change in the law
There was change.
that didn't allow you to start school any earlier than 2 weeks prior to Labor Day. What this school year, that created a very late start date. And so the discussions in the last legislative session was concerned about, because just of the nature, I think Labor Day was as late as it could possibly be. And so it made the start of school date, the August 24th date, later than it had ever been. So that created an environment where there was concern about the late start, and created this discussion at the legislative session where they allowed flexibility up to, I believe, as early as August 4th. We have not chosen to go that early. In fact, we could have changed this year's start date because of the lateness of the decision. It was my feeling that it was too late to change the big start of school, or to even consider a change, and that had already been adopted. So we chose to leave it as it was for this school year, and to let the committee make a recommendation of when they were proposing the new start date. So this is every 2 years we convene a committee, so there was no change in terms of the authorization of the committee. They came forward and made the recommendation, as you've seen, of the proposed calendars for the next 2 school years.
And how many weeks before Labor Day will we be starting?
It's August 15th is what is proposed, so it's 2.5 weeks, or 3 weeks. It is, it's Labor Day is earlier this coming year than it was this school year. So it's, so you have to take that into consideration in the, how different it is from August 15th. But it's starting school at August 15th was a recommendation of the committee. That has to be advertised. We're in the advertisement period, and we've always had a way that people could make comments. in terms of their input. The reason the committee made the decision to have this earlier start date than it had been previously, it allows us to complete the first semester. So this isn't involving state testing. This is not an accountability issue. It is simply we always have midterms and finals that have been forever. So those are the tests we're talking about. When you don't have the first semester ending before the winter break, which is when you start only 2 weeks before Labor Day, you can't finish it. You don't have enough days to have the first semester. It means that their finals for their semester courses, and in some cases their midterm, although we've given flexibility to different teachers that they can give the midterm before the winter break, even though it's not really the mid-year. So we've given flexibility for that. What we can't give flexibility are the finals, and that's for any course that ends after the first semester. So for those courses, the students have to wait to take their final exam and still after they get back from the winter break, which has been a concern for students. We've heard it from our CYD students. They've always been frustrated at taking a final exam for their courses after winter break. That's been frustrating to them, and we've heard that. So the calendar committee moved the date up just enough to be able to finish the first semester before the winter break.
But until about 5 years ago, I believe it was, we did start earlier, did we not?
Quite a bit earlier.
Yeah, we started the 3 weeks earlier, and there are several counties nearby, Manatee County for one, I'm not sure about Charlotte, that are starting even a week earlier than our plan is. And somebody mentioned that we're the only state. I know that North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia starts August 1st. So there are some others, but these things will be discussed more in depth at the January 4th meeting when we vote on it. And if you would like to perhaps talk to some of the board members after the meeting, we can't really get into dialogues at this point.
I just wanted to clarify. So the 20th of this month is is when we're closing the comment section? Yes. So, but because if we're going to use the Connect Ed to reach out, because if we're sensing that we're not getting the feedback, or there are parents that don't know, what's the time frame? Is it something we could extend?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
don't see I don't see any reason it has to
Perfect.
end. I'll
Thank
just
you.
say we will extend that until the board meeting that you're making that decision, and just enough where we could at least get the comments, because we promised we would have a way for the board members to see the comments. And I'll also work with our high schools. It impacts the high schools the most. So I think probably it's high school students need to weigh in too, in terms of because that decision will impact them. And frankly, they're the primary motivation for having it an earlier start date.
And this coming year would be the only one where we would have 1 week less summer. The following years would be the same number of weeks. They would just shift to more in June than
It's
in
always
August.
180 days, so it's you
So
shorten.
we're not adding an extra week, we're just starting and ending a week earlier. There was some confusion on that, I know, in some of the letters I received.
But we won't actually vote on this until the first board meeting in January.
January 4th.
That's my recollection. Except January 5th.
It's January 5th. Thank you for your comments, and maybe we'll see you again on January 5th, or if you wanted to stay in. Next, the approval of the consent agenda. Any additions or corrections?
Move approval. Second.
Waiting on our computer. That passes 5-0. And I have pulled one item for comment, and that is tweaking, changing one of our policies, and that's the responsibility and authority of the board. We're adding item 1. The vision of the school board is to be a high-functioning, effective team dedicated to providing governance and leadership to the Sarasota County School District. And then we made a change. The board is responsible for the organization and control of the public schools. We've stricken control and inserted oversight. Some may say that's a small change that we're doing, but we went together on a retreat last month and we worked on this. And we all agreed that we want to work together as a team and be high functioning. And I think when we want to be a team, we want to be a team with our schools, with our staff, and with our community. And we feel very strongly that way. And I just wanted to bring that out to highlight any of them. Any other comments from the board meeting?
On the board meeting? No, wait.
The regular board meeting? Oh, all right. And the new business? We're going to suspend the board meeting and convene the annual meeting of the Finance Corporation for the School Board of Sarasota County. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Do I do this or do you? I do this.
Need to vote.
All right.
Need to vote.
All right, we're going to elect the officers for the Finance Committee.
You have a motion on the floor. It needs to vote.
You need to,
Oh, we have to vote on the suspension.
yes.
We have to suspend. All right, so vote to the suspension. I think somebody's thinking about it.
No, it's me. I can't get there.
You want to take a voice vote?
There.
or-
I think we're all right.
There.
We should be all right now.
All right, that passes 5-0.
That was a different, I was voting on something different than it's up here.
Item 22. Move that the board elect Shirley Brown as president of the corporation and Lori White as secretary and treasurer of the corporation.
Second.
All those in favor? Vote, or not, I suppose.
I just got to wait. I can't get there. I'm on exit 30.
Okay, let's adjourn the meeting.
I can't. What the heck is
What?
going on here? Wait, I'm at 30.
I already voted.
I can't get, I'm not there. I can't. I'm at
See,
31
I voted,
now.
but it,
Okay. How can I get there to the end
that won't
quickly?
work. Somebody's
What I'm doing now.
holding. What number was it? It was 22. Election of
22.
officers.
Can't be 22.
We're just experiencing a little technical difficulties as we vote on the officers. I'm sure Caroline has no problem with the vote.
That's it. This is what we are. Okay. Yep. Stay here for a minute, please.
There you go.
This was right in the middle.
And that passes 5-0.
It's in the middle of the agenda, which doesn't make sense to me.
Move that the annual meeting of the Finance Corporation for the School Board of Sarasota County, Florida be adjourned.
Citizens.
Second.
Yeah.
We'll vote.
Where is she? I'm at hearing of citizens. Just vote and it'll say yes. Say aye.
When did we go to? And why?
And that passes 5-0.
Even though it
We're back to our regular meeting. Announcements and corrections. The Next monthly work sessions, December 8th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The regular board meeting is at 3 p.m. Any comments or announcements?
Yes. All right.
Mrs. Zucker?
I don't know how many of you know this, but Booker High School competed in the theater competition in Gainesville last weekend, and they won. They came out number one, and the techies for the school came out second. So they are now going to another competition in March. I'm not sure where.
And why do you know all of this?
Well, because my grandson's one of those techies. And Saturday, I went to see in Northport, John Lennon and Me. And there was a Miss Wasserman. She's putting on her own concert on the end of February. I think it's February 27th. And she was sitting there playing the piano with a beautiful voice and a drape for a dress that just looked like the John Lennon era, and a voice that's just unbelievable. So I would say if you can get there on February 27th, you should go and hear her. She is something special. Okay, then Monday, Taylor Ranch, I was there opening of their time capsule, which was phenomenal. We went through 25 years of history on a video while watching, and Gina Taylor and myself were there, and we were watching ourselves through the years as they opened this time capsule. And it was interesting things that our schools are doing. And today, I was at Laurel Nokomis. The Neal Communities hosted a home drawing contest using various medium depending on the grades. So it was K through 5th grade. It was 5 awarded from each one of the grades. And I didn't see who the winners were from each one of the grades because it got too long. But you'd see the kindergartens, what the kindergarten kids had put up, and their idea how the various medium was used was just really amazing. And then you see the progression from kindergarten through 5th grade, and you see the understanding come through in their drawings, and it was a fantastic experience. So I've been having a good time visiting our schools this week.
I know that Riverview High had a great week too. Their swim team, the men's swim team, came in first. I think the women was second, and one of their stars had 5 gold medals. And I heard the Kilty Band was out there doing their best too. This Thursday is the Great American Smokeout. For those of you wanting to quit smoking, it would be a great day. Even if you do it for the day, it will help your life. Miss Ziegler?
I just wanted to say last week, last week was Veterans Day, and I know Mrs. Goodwin and I had the opportunity to go to McIntosh Middle, and I think other board members were at Venice Elementary, and I just want to make a statement because I heard from so many members of the community, and I'm very proud of what our district does to celebrate all week long for the veterans. I think it's a huge part of our history, and I think showing the support that we do. So I don't know. I know we know, but even being able to share that with some people, because sometimes I don't know if they know what we do, and I think it's obviously a huge part. And it was just great seeing all the different generations there, and it was very moving. And I just really wanted to make sure I applaud the district on really honoring our veterans, because obviously they've made the ultimate sacrifice. But it was wonderful. So,
Mrs. Brown?
I'd like to thank our press for covering it, that we've had it all, because so often we hear from the public, you don't do anything on Veterans Day, why aren't your kids off? I think the press did a good job of covering all the programs we had at a lot of the schools. Ms. Goodwin?
This Thursday night, the Kilty Band is having a band performance at Riverview at 7 o'clock, and it's a joint participation with Sarasota Middle School's band. And, this is why the Kilty Band is successful, in part, is because of the joining that they do with middle schools, but with Sarasota Middle in particular, both with some of the students marching with them at football games, and now they're taking this another step further and playing in a concert. So I'd encourage people to come and see that. Kilty Band is over 200 people, and some of our other bands are smaller, so we really need to try to encourage other middle schools in the Venice area, Northport and whatnot, to get involved with some of the high school bands so that the kids transition from middle school into high school. But If you have nothing to do on Thursday night, please come out and see what will be a really exciting band concert.
I'm there. Shirley. And the meeting.
And we stand adjourned.